All right, here's another good one. Tucker, you're obviously an earrings guy. Bingo. I have always considered being one too. Yeah, we'll see. I've always considered being one too, but that feels like such a leap to me. How do I know if it's even something I can pull off?
Well, hey, it's not. If you're asking the question,
yeah, I was gonna say.
If you're asking the question, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I got bad news, brother. If you're curious, you just need to go for it.
Yeah,
but
try it. Just try it.
to be honest, I don't really pull it off. I'm just so far in that now I kind of do. You know, it's like sometimes you just have to do a thing for long enough till people just associate it with your personality.
Yeah, people just go, I guess you are a jet ski instructor. I guess that's just who you are.
Well, folks, we're back with another motherfucking episode of the Being Cool Practical Advice for Weird Little Guys Too Long of a Title podcast. You know the fucking deal. Before I intro my guest, everybody, we've got a little bit of housekeeping to set the tone here. Folks, we are indeed running out of questions. You all have finally given up on this idea, and I have nothing but respect for that. But if you have any heart in your body, please write in, because if you don't, I will start making these up and getting them from Reddit. I don't care anymore. I've given up, and
it's not a bad idea. Actually.
Right? Don't you fucking speak yet, because they don't even know you're on the. They don't know you're even here yet. If you can see it at the edit, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that brings me to my next point, everybody. We've got an incredible guest on the show today. Give it up in the fucking studio audience. Make some noise. They're absolutely screaming right now for one of the funniest comedians in the whole country. One of my best friends. We love him, Tyler Horvath.
Hey,
how about that? Incredible. Ty, welcome to the fucking pod, baby. How
Thank
you
you.
doing?
Well, I'm good. If I wasn't worried about you before, that intro was absolutely unhinged.
I will
appreciate.
say, I have just had a triple shot iced Americano, and I am geeked out of my fucking skull, which is what the listeners like. That's what they want from me.
Yeah, there's not a lack of energy in this room. That's for goddamn certain.
I'll tell you what, I am a performer, and I do fucking bring it, and it is getting hot in here already, and I'm sweating. Ty, we love it. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. We started together doing stand-up comedy in Chicago. I'm sure the audience is also sick of stand-up, but suck my fucking hug, everybody. I won't stand for that anymore either.
Yeah. I mean, we were in the trenches in Chicago, and by in the trenches, I mean our terrible apartment, where we had a party while the toilet was not working.
We did have a party with a fully clogged toilet with shit in it.
The toilet was clogged. I don't know. No, it wasn't clogged. The thing that it wasn't clogged, but the back water thing wouldn't fill up.
Right.
So we just decided we'll still have the party. Yeah. Just put like a big jug by the sink, and just make sure everybody knows that they have to fill. If they piss or shit in the apartment, they have to fill up the jug and fill up the back of the toilet, like ancient Greeks. Or maybe Romans. This is like pre-aqueduct.
Pre-aqueduct society. We're going, let's go aqueduct.
Yeah. This is what the Romans were doing when they were like, we gotta find a better system for this.
We did have women over going like, just pour water in there.
Dude, I cannot. Can you believe that Sally like stepped foot in that apartment?
Truly unbelievable. I love that we're already getting into this, because literally the first question someone asked was, "What was it like living with Tucker?" And folks, that's about it, right?
You know what's crazy is that because I wear these little shirts, And I wear, and I have glasses, and I do this little thing with my hair.
Right.
Everyone thinks that I have it together, but really the question should be, what was it like living with Tyler? I would steal his air conditioning unit, like during the day, for just like a couple hours while he was at work.
We were so poor. I had an air conditioner that I did not
But
buy.
I shouldn't have been poor. I had a great job. I still have the job, and now it's fine because I'm like a human being. But I don't know what I did. I just like flushed all my money down that toilet that didn't work.
Well, you would. This is what it was like. He would get payday loans to like pay his rent, and we had one air conditioner that we would share between the three of us, and we'd pull it out of the window and just move it into whatever room we were all in.
I mean,
that is crazy.
It is baffling. I can't believe it. The fact that that there's any disposable income in our lives now is like an absolute miracle.
Unfucking believable. And you met a woman during this time. I mean, this is why we love women.
We mostly went to her place, but yeah, she would grace our apartment with her presence from time to time. I just couldn't believe. She would literally be like, "I think I'm gonna go home." I'm like, you don't want to sleep in a sweaty heap of the dirtiest sheets you've ever.
She's like, babe, I'm gonna go get Tucker's air conditioner. Just wait. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm like, no, it's gonna be great. Help me carry this.
Yeah.
Help me carry this AC. We could have it for like 30 minutes. He's off.
Yeah, he's at work right now. Quick, grab his air conditioner.
You know the ones that people usually bolt into their windows for the whole summer? I would borrow it for like a quarter of an hour.
Dude, speaking of, remember when I lit the porch on fire?
See, no, I don't, because by that time I knew that the ship was sinking, and I was basically living at Sally's place by then. Yeah, it was. I came back to like get the last of my pans that Pat broke, and I came back I was like, all right, I actually didn't have anything to grab because everything was broken in the apartment or filthy. But I came back one day and you were like, dude, I almost burned the house down last night. And I was like, what's almost? And you're like, let me show you. And the back porch was all wood. Like, it's not like, I let my pan set on fire and like, it was scary for a second. The porch was like blackened. Charred black, like almost like ready to cook on the coals black.
Yeah, it was still smoking when I came out.
Smoldering even.
Dude, so let me tell the listeners what happened. So basically what happened was I came home from work one day and I hadn't slept the night before, and I was blasting a Marlboro Light on my wooden porch.
Never slept.
Yeah,
you never slept.
I can't sleep. I have serious insomnia because I be thinking all the time. Yeah. But so I smoked this cigarette, and then we were such degenerates. I had this giant plastic. We had this giant plastic trash can on the deck.
No trash can in the kitchen.
Yeah, we had it on the deck.
Literally no trash can in the kitchen. Just bags of trash in the corner of the kitchen, floppy open.
Yes, why was it on the deck?
But there was a trash can on the deck for just beer. That's how much, that was our priorities.
Dude, so anyways, so I come home and I think that can, I thought we were using, it was like full of cans. So I tossed a cigarette into this trash can and I go to bed immediately. And I wake up.
Did you do one of these and then toss it in?
Brother, I did one of these.
Oh my God. What's the statute of limitations?
Yeah.
Because this is
it was arson. It was
this maybe shouldn't. Yeah, I think this is one of those things where like at some point you get put under hypnosis and you're like, I wanted it to burn. You like some deep part of you are like, I can't live like this. I need to burn this fucking place down.
Dude, you should. When I walked outside and saw it had the entire it was a wooden porch, and then when I came out 2 hours later, it was a black porch. The trash can had melted down into a flat disc,
like it had been painted.
Yes, and the trash can had melted down into a flat disc, and all the plastic had dripped on all the neighbors' shit below. Dude, and then the neighbor came out.
Molten plastic dripping through the wooden deck. I mean, dude, the fact that it was like literally a flat disc. I mean, it hadn't been burning for so long. And it was like, like a story high porch. and the roof was black.
Yeah.
The roof like of our porch, and there's another floor, or like was all black. I couldn't believe. So the must have been like giant, like a jet engine flames, just of metal. That was so hot that it melted metal.
Yeah, it melted all. Dude, and then the best part was the neighbor came out. The neighbor came out and he sees me looking at all this, and he goes, dude, your porch caught on fire. And I look around and I go, whoa, how did that happen? And then I just take out a Marlboro and start smoking that one.
Oh my God. What did he say after that? Dude, he put it out, right?
He said he ran outside with gallons of water, like milk jugs, and was like dumping it on the flame. I'm just in my room, just absolutely catching a vibe.
Yeah, you're just like reading the sign on your door that says "Be undeniable" for the 5,000th time.
I might be undeniable, but first burn your porch
Looking
down.
at a picture of Patrice O'Neal on the wall, like, oh, someday.
I still have that sign. I just don't have it hanging anymore, but it is in my room somewhere, and it says, and I will be undeniable one day, folks, if I'm not already. And know that, fellas, queers, and ladies. Damn, I always forgot about that porch thing. That is, I mean, look how far we've come.
It is good to remember that from time to time. I mean, the fact that I was like, I would just wake up. This might be crazier than that. But the consequences were so much less visible. I think I did laundry twice in that basement. We lived there for like
Where'd you do laundry?
Two other times I did like wash and fold across the street. I just was like, I can't do 10 loads going up and down these stairs.
Right.
And I guess I just wore dirty clothes most of the time.
Right.
Because I for real
That's
think
crazy.
I mean, 2 is an overstatement for comedy, folks. But I mean, truly maybe 10 times in the 2 years that we lived there. And then a couple other times I did like wash and fold because it was like $80 and I was like, that's worth it. I don't have the money. I'll borrow that money to to do that. Right. I mean, it was so crazy. And I would write bad checks to the landlord.
Yeah, they would. Mine would bounce all the time.
My checks would bounce every week.
And our rent was like $375.
And people I'm writing checks that are bouncing for rent, and people are tapping me on the shoulder going like, you got to make sure Tucker's okay. I'm like, I'm not okay.
Were people worried about me back then?
Well, no, I'm just saying like it's just
sounded
funny
like they were.
No, I'm just saying like
no, right.
Like you would be the one that people because you just have always worn everything on your sleeve.
Right, yeah.
You would be we would be having a normal conversation and we would just be talking about like, yeah, I was thinking about going to this open mic later, but it's not as good as it used to be. And then you just get up from your chair like, I can't have this conversation again. And you just walk into your room and just stay there for like 3 days, like doing mushrooms. I
had a severe mental illness. I think. I think I still do, but at the time it was really acting up.
Now it's pointed in a direction, the direction of the internet, which is everywhere.
That is what you do have to. That is the key to life. Take your mental illness and aim it
you got to find an outlet for it,
and not. Fellas, a public mall, school, or anywhere else.
That is not.
For the love of God.
I mean, it really is crazy. I mean, it was, and then, it was like we were doing all of this so that we could do, the worst open mics in the world and get on, like, some great shows, which we were trying to get on, but, like, a lot of them just, like, fine, like, bar shows were, like, we were like, oh, my God.
Well, the reason I can
only get on that.
The reason I like to bring this up, and this is something that's a very common theme for the listeners and something we preach often on this fucking show, is that really life is this goddamn show.
Everything in the show is like everything is fine until you start talking about the show itself, and then it's just like pure disdain.
Well, this also goes with what I'm talking about. This fucking life is all about just being persistent at a thing you care about. I mean, we used to be absolute losers of the highest degree.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways,
And I thought I was like, I'm killing it right now. I'm like, all these idiots getting married and, giving their parents grandchildren. I'm just like, idiots,
cowards,
dude. living in a place where it's sunny all the time. Like I moved from Florida to the dead of winter in Chicago to not do laundry but do open mics.
Right. Yeah.
It was, but yeah, I mean, it really is just like doing it long enough that some things just have to fall into play, and just like waking up one day and going, I can't live like this.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's
we put ourselves in the worst situation to have to dig ourselves out of it.
Yeah, literally. When like a lot of becoming a cool fucking normal dude who isn't an incel freak, with all due respect to the fellas out there,
What
is seeing it through.
Yeah.
It's just like going, hey, maybe I'm a weird guy right now, but maybe I can fucking persevere. And
so you think you're on your way to that?
Well,
to not being an incel crazy guy. You think you're on your way?
I'm like a what is it when you're celibate but you're not involuntary, volcel or whatever.
Volcel.
Yeah. I love women, but I will shoot up a nursing home.
Tennessee Volcel.
No, I'm kidding. I'll bleep that.
Yeah, bleep it. Tennessee Volcel. That's got some legs.
Yeah. The other question I'm having a nice time right now. The other question I wanted to ask Ty, and I asked this to all the fellas that come on that are in long-term relationships, because you do have a beautiful, stunning woman in your life that you have absolutely no right being with.
That's true.
So tell the fellas.
I'll tell you when I hear something objectionable.
Tell the fellas how to bag a lady out of your league for longer than 3 to 6 weeks.
Well, it's easier if you do it early when she's like, I have time to see this out. Like I've got time for him to get, like, it's hard with you now, I think, because it's like you just have to be successful already.
Right. Yeah.
But we were in our 20s and she's like, I can see he's got some potential. I like the button downs. It's a smelly button down, but he's trying a little bit. But no, I mean, I think it really is. It does help when it's younger and she just like sees that you might become something, But I mean, starting now, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I know this isn't a hopeful message.
I was about to say, what he's saying is you got to trick these women at the right time.
Yeah, you got to find them when they also are kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure my life out too. It seems like he's wants something to happen.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think it's just doing your own thing really intently. At some point someone's going to notice that and be attracted to that.
That is for damn sure.
I mean, I really think, and I think I have to like remind myself of that sometimes too, because it's like you try to I'm like I want everything to be okay all the time, and so I'm like checking in, going like, what's up with this, and I think I think that comes from a good place of like, I want everything to be all right, but I think also like just like being yourself and doing your own thing is like the most attractive thing at the beginning and then always.
Right. Yeah.
Like you have to like make time and put effort into the things that you do for one another, but like it's very corny, but I really think just figuring out who that is and then becoming and being your most authentic self is the only, because then that's going to attract somebody at some point.
I find most depression and sorrow comes from when you kind of lose the human tinkering, where you're just like going through life and doing the motions. Like your brain needs something to tinker with and explore and see if you can't get better at. And
like micro problems to solve within a bigger puzzle.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's like it's just you're going to not attract. I heard someone say today, like, will be like at least fail at exactly what you want to do.
Right.
It's like that Jim Carrey thing that his dad like tried to do all the right things and then still got laid off when like 20 years in and then couldn't support their family and shit. It's like, I think people know that on some level and some people are really attracted to stability, but I think that wears out at some point. And I think like if you find someone that is like willing to go on this ride with you of some pursuit, whatever it is,
yes,
it should, to be honest, it shouldn't be comedy.
Amen.
Because it's horrific.
God damn,
but,
amen.
You know, I think if you find someone that's willing to go with you on that pursuit and be like, okay, well, we're trying everything in our lives, and you got to be on board with their whatever. Also, find someone that has that for themselves.
Yeah,
they have to also have their own fucking life.
Yeah,
because you're not that interesting.
No, yeah.
You know, like Sally has her own life, and we are living both of those lives, you know, together.
And I really love what you said about, you know, there's a lot of safety in maybe a sort of boring person who's just generally is going by the general path, but you do need some sort of excitement to kind of
yeah, and
keep things alive.
There's nothing wrong with stability, and make no mistake, like it's a yeah, I'm trying to find a word that isn't as like lame to say, I guess, as like privilege, but it is an absolute, like, not everybody gets to, you know, fuck around and still be okay.
Right.
Like, not everybody gets to, like,
that is the truth.
Like, most people in history couldn't have spent, like, you know, 5 years fucking around in Chicago and trying to figure it out, and then come out on the other side of it like, well, that was crazy.
I mean, we've been fucking around for longer than 5 years.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, what, you know, that is like, make no mistake. But if you are in any sort of position to do that, I think it's worth it. And also just fucking leave where you're from.
Yeah.
Go out for a little while. Go back too. Like, after leaving, I used to hate where I was from.
Yeah.
Now I have like respect and admiration, and I like going back.
Yeah.
But like, there was a time where I was like, I gotta get the, you know.
Yeah.
But also, not everybody has that. It's like, you know, I can only speak for myself at the end of the day. But
now, with that being said, there's a lot of tools, and we're about to get into therapy, fellas. So if you're one of those fucking guys who hates it, turn this shit off now. Mm-hmm. Tell me how therapy.
Also, talk about that with a therapist. I mean, if you're like really against it, if that's like a thing of yours, look at that.
Yeah. Therapy is a wonderful thing, and not only every man, but every woman, child, queer, they, them, everyone should be in therapy. I don't mean forever. I don't really believe in the forever therapy thing.
That was funny because you placed
queer, they, them.
Queer, they, them in like an age. It was like men, women, children. Queer, they, them.
Tiny little queers, big old theys, middle-aged thems.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's like been the most valuable thing for me.
Therapy is such a wonderful tool to really discover what we're talking about, the tinkering, the what do you want to do, who are you really, what matches your skill set, etc. Yeah,
and just like, why do I keep doing this thing?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because you have shame. You have shame around the fact that you've done something, but it's misplaced, I promise. And it's someone to tell you that whatever you're feeling, once you actually get honest in therapy, you know, because there is a little time where you're like sugarcoating everything, and you're like, well, you know, look, it's like I do laundry every couple of weeks. and then at some point they're like, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I did in the last year. And they're like, okay, where? Well, let's get to the bottom of that. You know,
you're like, my father never did laundry.
No, I mean, but whatever it is, it's like, get to the bottom. It helps you get to the bottom of whatever you're feeling. It's just someone to tell you like, yeah, that's fine. Like literally whatever you're feeling, they'll go, yeah, sure. Okay. Let's look at that, you know?
I also like to, you know, point out that the thing about therapy that I think holds a lot of men back is that it feels a little like you're admitting some sort of defeat almost, like you need help. And yeah, bro, you do.
Yeah.
Life is fucking so hard. It's a cold, dead world we live in.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody, you know?
I mean, someone else taught you how to do everything that you know how to do,
Yeah.
even if you think that you're self-taught, like someone made the resource that you use to figure out what you are doing or everything that you know how to do. But almost no one has like parents or people in their life growing up that like teach them about their emotions and how to like their habits and how to like break things down and look at and not like look at an emotion and not judge it and go and just like go like, why am I, whoa, that is weird that I feel anger at this moment, or I feel sadness when a good thing happens, or I'm scared when a good thing happens. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, or like, rather than just feeling it and going like, like that's so stupid of me to feel that way or whatever. Like,
you are not your shame and you are not your guilt.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's feeling.
No one tells you how to do that. So therapy is a tool to have someone like just teach you that skill. Like I'll go through like bouts of anxiety, and now they're like moments, or like at most like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Or even if it's like a bad day, I just go, I know that it's not forever, and I have tools to go like, all right, this is just a day where I just gotta like survive.
Yeah.
You know, and like tomorrow I'll do the things that I said I want to do today, but I just can't today.
And I think that's so important.
Those
Tools. Having a tool that you can go, okay, how do I get out of this funk? And when I was at my absolute worst, I had no idea what to do, and I would just live in the funk until it went away. And if you do treat it like that, it'll be there for many, many years. It doesn't just go away. You have to do something about it, you know?
And it's also, if you're in a period of your life where you're like, you've felt something that was, you know, you've been in a funk or you've had panic attacks or whatever, and now you're like kind of fine.
Yeah.
Now is the time to do it, because when you're in the funk where you are like freaking out and overwhelmed, it's hard to like do the logistical steps of setting up getting into therapy.
Because you identify with your problems so much, you're like, there's no fixing this. It's who I am, and it's like, no, it's not, bro.
No, it's not.
It simply is not. If it was, me and Ty would have not be sitting here with 2 air conditioners now.
Yeah. We got two in the apartment. It's crazy.
I mean, this guy's
don't have to move them at all. They go up in
you can bolt those things.
They get screwed in.
I got fucking central air. How about that? I may have 3 roommates, but I got central air. Central air. Hello.
You got there.
The Lord have mercy. Good God.
But yeah, I mean, just fucking get in there.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can, especially if you can afford it, get in somewhere. If you have insurance, get in there. If you don't, there's resources somewhere.
If you don't work out and meditate, bro,
yeah,
if you can't get into therapy,
something.
Get some tools in your tool belt that are free. Working out is free. Meditating is free. My body looks absolutely unbelievable, and my brain is getting there. So, you know, it's really not that hard, even though I understand when people go through horrific.
You need it.
Oh, that could have been bad, folks. We're back. The power went off on the computer, and we damn near lost everything. Unbelievable. What the hell were we even saying?
Well, what would the world have done without that 30 minutes that we just recorded?
All 73 of my listeners would have had to, unfortunately, take their life for missing 23 minutes of an episode where we tell them to fix themselves, even though we have no money and no career, no financial
Should
success.
we middle plug our Tampa date?
Oh, yeah. Tell the fucking middle plug. Is that a...
I don't know.
Should we
plug it? I just mean, should we plug it in the middle, not at the end?
Should we anal plug our Tampa Day?
So in May 17th, we're going to be, May 17th and 18th, we're going to be at Coastal Creative in St. Petersburg, Florida.
One of the great cities in America.
So come on out. It's my home state. We got to sell some tickets there. It's going to be a good time. We're going to both be doing a significant chunk of stand-up comedy, and it's going to be
actually have a couple listeners coming. They DM me.
Let's go.
No lie. Hannah, if you're listening, thank you, Queen. We love you and we support you and everything.
For God's sakes, bring all of your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and spread the word. And so that's all. That's the little plug ski. That's the middle plug.
And folks, to be quite honest, as funny as we are on this, we're so much better on stage, and that's the crazy thing. We are low-key unbelievably talented, despite everything our fucking haters have to say about us. I love making up haters.
Yeah, you have a different experience online than I do. Everyone online, my haters just say that I look like the guy from B movie. That's my big one.
The Bee?
Yeah, the Bee. They think I'm striped.
No, you look like Anthony Volpe, for the record, and we love him.
Absolutely will take that.
He's cute.
An athlete.
Yeah, he's cute. He's got a tight little body, and he's a New York Yankee, and we love the fucking Yankees.
Wearing the colors right now.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Well, now that I've completely destroyed the momentum about trying to improve everyone's life, let's go ahead and get into the questions, since I forgot to plug the fucking computer in. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette in here in this studio and burn this place to the ground any day now.
This studio is gonna be a compressed disc by the end of this episode.
Incredible. Well, that was just yet another incredible interview portion before I absolutely ruined it by not putting the charger into the computer, folks. But that's what you get for making me work this hard on a goddamn podcast. I continue to lash out. Let's go ahead and get into some listener questions.
You know what? Can I say? It's gonna be funny to see if. I just think this energy is gonna be hard to sustain for 100 episodes of absolute disdain. I think you're gonna settle into being like, this is great, actually. Thank you, guys.
No, to be honest, you just commented. But normally I'm in here and I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful to have this. But I've been working so much recently in this room that being in here fills me with a sort of existential dread that I could, that really.
Well, I think we got out of it for a few minutes there when we were talking about the old days.
Yeah, I mean that was nice to hear. I forgot about lighting a porch on fire, and I was like, wow, I've really come so far.
Yeah, you have.
I mean that was hilarious.
You couldn't even be trusted with a porch, and now you got a whole studio.
Yeah, now I have an indoor porch. It's kind of an indoor
porch-like. What we're looking at behind the camera, it looks kind of like that porch.
Well, I'll tell you what we're looking at behind the camera, a live studio audience. Yes, don't ever, and sometimes the listeners don't believe me that there's a live studio audience here, and I just want you to know you have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
They're just not mic'd.
Right, yeah, we keep them deadly. I mean, there's this live studio audience here, we just have guns to all their heads.
And it's just, I got the button right here.
Yeah. Free Palestine. Let's go ahead and get into a couple of listener questions. I like to say that before everyone. We did a Free Palestine thing, and a couple people were mean to me about it, and they too can suck my hog. All right, let's get into the questions here. This is a wonderful one because you know I love it, ladies, when you guys write in. I love when the women write in, and shout out to this queen. I'm not going to put your photo up there, but I just want you to know I did get it. She says, "Hey guys, love the pod. Parentheses, I'm a girl." So to cut,
I love how that she said, "Hey guys, like you have a team working together." Hey Tucker and supporting crew that he can afford.
Yeah, and the live studio audience.
She says, let's not forget about them. Same audience every time.
Yeah. I mean, they're in here in gunpoint. We feed them Pop-Tarts and nothing else.
Unfrosted.
Yeah, just enough to keep them alive.
Go see the Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie.
I like to beat his ass as well, make no mistake.
Love you, Jerry.
Love you, Jerry, you Zionist pig. So she says, "Hey guys, love the pod, parentheses, I'm a girl." So to cut to the chase, I never get approached in public, like ever. And when I do, it's a guy who has missing teeth or is twice my age. I don't want to sound shallow by saying this, but I'm told by every race and gender that I'm very attractive. And my lady, you sent in a photo, and you indeed are. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Tucker lost his train of thought. Tucker was not here for about 3-4 seconds there.
I did get this picture, and I was like, wow, and it was just a question. I was like, God damn it, there's just no winning in this life.
Yeah.
But
you should check your email.
I trust me, I'd do that as well.
Again. I'm gonna make so many fake email accounts and send you and hit on you.
She says, "I don't want to sound shallow by saying this, but I'm told by every race, gender, and gender that I'm very attractive almost every time I leave the house. I never take it to heart and
she's not ever approached, but every race and gender, every time she goes out of the house,
she says
you're hot.
No, hang on, we're getting to it.
Okay.
But I'm told by every race and gender that I'm very attractive almost every time I leave the house. I never take it to heart and just go about my day, but it's starting to get to me why I can't meet a guy in the wild. So my question is, how can I appear more approachable to guys with my age with teeth, LOL? Much love from Chicago. Y'all are awesome. Right back at you, you queen, you beautiful, beautiful queen.
Wow. Well, I mean, I don't think it might just be the time, like the times.
Yeah.
Like, I think that guys have that skill of like approaching a woman in public was always in short supply.
Yeah.
Like people doing it effectively and like in a way that wasn't a crime.
Yeah.
Was always like 1% of the population, maybe. And then now that 1% can shoot their shot online with like 100 women in the time that it takes to muster up the courage to come up to you in public.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it's a reflection on you whatsoever. I think I would not take it to heart. I would instead listen to the every race and gender that has told you that you're attractive. And also Tucker, I think he's clearly Indian.
Yes, and milady, you are beautiful, and my phone number is 704-651. No, I'm kidding.
The milady.
Milady.
Hit her with the milady.
I am joking. But what I will say is that, definitely what he said, but also the Me Too movement has really made men just become complete cowards in public. And I like that this question came up as well, because every week a man writes in and is like, how do I hit on women in public? And now this woman is like, why won't any men hit on me in public? And it's like, folks, I think we should start hitting on each other in public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about you is, since you are beautiful, babe, sorry, I'll stop. The thing about you is, sorry, I can't help myself. The thing about you is, since you are beautiful, men are going to be afraid of you, because beautiful women are absolutely terrifying. It's one of the scariest things on the planet.
I mean, you do on some level, it's a compliment where it's like people are just like, I can't even. And the reason that people that are toothless or double your age are willing to approach you is they got nothing to lose.
Precisely.
They got nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah.
They've long ago, they either are on their way out and they're like, what's the worst that could happen? What can she do to me that time hasn't?
Yeah.
That's both categories, actually. That's why they're coming up to you.
There is no one more confident than a man with no teeth. I mean,
it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Every guy I know with no teeth, I don't know many, but every homeless person at least, really is not afraid to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key, fellas. Get those teeth ripped out and start screaming at women in public.
Would you like that? Milady, would you like that if every guy had no teeth?
But I do like the question, because I do understand where you're coming from, and it is getting frustrating trying to meet people on the internet. As a beautiful woman, this is something you're going to be putting up with a lot in your life, and I do feel bad for you, because men are pigs in that way. There's really nothing you can do, unfortunately, unless you want to start hitting on men in public and like maybe leaving your number somewhere. I will say,
which will absolutely make their day.
Yes, I wanted.
I promise you. I mean, if that ever happened to me,
it's happened to me a few times. I still think about it to this day. Like,
I love it.
One time a woman left her number on my windshield, and that was like in like 2017, and I'm still like, I can't believe.
Did you call her?
Yeah, and she was not that beautiful, if I remember correctly. I can't remember what happened.
I was just worried that it was like your friend. Like a prank.
No, she was like
you had that week. You had been like, you're like, it's crazy that this happened on the week that I told my friends that was my deepest fantasy.
No, I was like walking into a Menards, and I think she walked past me or something
to save big money.
Yeah, but yeah, you're in an unfortunate space, because it's going to be harder for you because you are beautiful, and
yeah, I mean, it's a real high wire act to approach a woman in public, and
every woman we have on here says not to approach women in public.
Yeah, because there is so many bad ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most people just want to go about their day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, also, where are you going? Where do you want this to happen? I mean, where?
It sounds like the dentist. She's like, all these teethless guys keep screaming at me.
She's a dental hygienist. Everyone. She's like, all these toothless guys and my boss
keep asking for my help. Keep trying to fuck me.
Keep trying to. It's like, well, you have a hostile work environment. But also, like, where do you want this to happen? At like bars or like a coffee shop or? I mean, do you want it to be like a guy at a bar who's like, I don't know. I mean, what also make sure you go to the right kind of bar.
Right,
then.
yeah.
And then also make sure you go, if it's a coffee shop, make sure he's not writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
What you got to ask him if he comes up to you, just be like, what are you doing here? Were you
Here's what I really want
Are
to
you
tell
just here for the coffee or
Here's the deal, babe. You again, no disrespect calling you babe. You are so attractive that if you go up to a man and give him your number, I'm telling you right now, you're good. He will answer. He will text you back. So I would encourage you to maybe put yourself out there a little. I think you'd be shocked at the results you're going to get.
Just don't film it and make it a TikTok because I can't fucking watch another one of those.
Yeah, he's like a guy with like a big notepad being like, is your calendar open or whatever? I fucking hate those. I hate those dudes on the internet. Like pickup guys. I'll fucking see them in hell as well. But I hope that helped, and
there's no way that wasn't helpful.
I feel like we gave you absolutely zero advice there otherwise than justifying that you are beautiful.
Yeah, he's like, well, I got a solution to your problem, and it's me. And I'm like, you should be born at a different time. So I don't think that's very helpful, but I hope it was entertaining.
And it's a very similar thing that a lot of people are going through, and you aren't alone, and men are feeling the same way, and hopefully we can resolve this at some point, but I think that might be past us in society.
Given how our society handles most problems that we have, I think a solution is right on the horizon.
Yeah.
I think we're about to wrap this one up.
Yeah, Joe Biden will get on that any day now. I can feel it in my plums.
Yeah, he's going to get on it by approaching you.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can't do an impression.
Little old lady, you looking for a big man in your life?
Is that cartoon rooster?
I don't know. That was supposed to be
That
Joe
was like
Biden.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Little old lady.
Who do you think is president? Are you okay?
Little old lady. Little old lady. Okay. Here's one very simple, straight to the point. Hey, Tucker, love the pod. I'm a woman writing in like you asked. God bless you women, because I do ask every week.
Yep.
What are some female icks?
Ooh.
A good question. We haven't actually touched on this yet.
Yeah. See, I wasn't in the market when ick was a term, but let me see if I can think back. Do you have any off the top of your head?
I definitely have one. Man-hating relentlessly is an ick. I get doing it occasionally because we are a disgusting predatory species that just wants to fuck you all the time, and I know that's exhausting. But constant man-hating is one of the biggest turnoffs I could possibly think of.
See, I like that.
You fucking male chauvinist pig.
No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know, man.
Well, here's the real answer. There are no female icks.
Yeah, that's actually. Yeah, it's actually fine.
You could literally hit me in the head with a steel hammer and it wouldn't even bother me as long as you let me touch it.
It's for us, it's not, there's no ick, it's more of a
Yeah. No, that's so true.
But then you're gonna go,
Yeah, we really do not care especially if we're attracted to you. We really do not care what you do. Mm-hmm. Maybe don't kill my family or whatever. But
that would be
a huge ick.
That'd be a deal. Yeah, if you murder my family, I think that would be an ick. I don't know the term that well,
but if you're really beautiful, I can see past it.
Yeah, God, I don't know. This is definitely more your territory. Do you have any other ones besides the male hating?
I will also say,
which is a hilarious first answer.
Yeah, sorry, I stand on it. And
what I hate more than anything is criticism. That's just sort of the one thing that I can't get past.
An ick? I'll tell you an ick, babe. Leave me alone.
I just hate it when she's always there, telling me things I need to.
I would say that as far as like other icks, maybe I like a fashion one or whatever. I find like the Southern Belle look to be kind of, like a big puffy dress or like a like a woman in like a Patagonia vest with a flannel and jeans and boots. That type of like
Patagonia vest.
The pumpkin spice latte ass look.
Oh, yeah. Well,
shit is-
that's so Southern Belle and that are two sort of different
Maybe
things
yeah.
to me, I think. But the Patagonia, like the vest with the did you say pumpkin patch?
A pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, I was gonna
look.
say like she's got a latte out of pumpkin patch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
totally. That
shit.
I'm not. Yeah. She works at like an NGO or something.
But see, even this, it's not an ick. It's just us being like, I wouldn't.
It's not even like it's really we're really reaching. But the
Yeah.
Southern Belle, like the Daisy Dukes thing, I don't know. I'm not. That's
Yeah.
like something you got to grow out of. I feel like
Yeah. Again, there's really no icks. Y'all are perfect, and we love you.
it is crazy. There is a reason that men are not the ones that came up with that.
Yeah.
That's not a predominantly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We love women with all our hearts, despite how many of us act. I hope that was a good answer. Probably not, but
Yeah.
All right, we got one more question here. We got a voice memo.
Weird little guy named Wyatt Toodle. I was just curious, do you think it's like unethical or illegal to masturbate in a public bathroom if the stall was closed? And if I'm being quiet,
I didn't hear a word of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it because it wasn't loud enough. Do you think it's unethical to masturbate in a public bathroom while the stall is closed?
How public? Like I'm saying, are you at work or are you at the park?
Well, I'll tell you. I was gonna say I've certainly cranked it in a work bathroom before. Make no mistake.
That's.
I mean,
it's definitely a young man's game.
that is the truth.
You can't. I mean, you can't have kids. You can't even be like your person be pregnant and be doing that.
Yeah, there is
You gotta
a sorrow.
can't. There's a level of.
You want to talk
like,
about post-nut clarity when you nut and you're still sitting in a stall with like your legs stretched out.
You got to go back to work, and you're just like, that's not. Who do you want to be, man? That's what I'm not.
That's
like,
the answer.
It's not the ethics of it. The ethics, you could go. We could come down anywhere on that, but it really just comes down to
the ethics would mean nothing.
No, I mean, like, look, that's it's so wishy-washy, but really it comes down to like, what kind of guy am I?
Am I a crank my meat in the park toilet guy, or am I
mean,
not?
Yeah. Is it a park toilet? Is it the plane? What kind of public?
Well,
are we
plain
talking?
bathroom. Have you done that before?
No, but I came really close. But then but here's the thing. Y'all then you got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's the truth.
And I'm not.
Ain't no nut worth $17.99.
I'm not that guy. I'm like 3 years out of writing bad checks. I can't afford the Wi-Fi on a plane.
Wow, that is hilarious. Yeah, it really depends on who you want to be.
Yeah. You can't. Make sure. Also, the fact that you felt that you had to specify that the door is closed, that's a little troublesome. You're like,
obviously with the door open, it's
it
fine.
sounds like you already got caught, and you're like, what? Door was closed. You're like, well, I'm in my own space.
Yeah, I would say, hey man, to each their own.
Yeah.
We're certainly both guilty. I've cranked in a lot of bizarre places, libraries, etc. But that was a
libraries.
I've definitely done the library a few times in college.
Okay. Yeah.
In those little nooks where everyone was studying, and at about 2 a.m. I just pulled my meat out and yanked on that thing. But I have a serious issue with being horny constantly, and it's ruining my life. So that's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, it's like, ask. I think it's instructive that you're asking Tucker and not someone in your life.
Right.
Because Tucker's the kind of guy that you think would be like, look, sometimes
I'm
you're
pretty open.
Sometimes you're in public. But I think if you ask, like, I don't know, your priest or your dad, don't ask a priest. But
yeah, leave them the hell out of it for the
if
love
you
of
ask
God.
if you ask like, a member of your family, I think that you know what the answer is going to be, and I think
Yeah.
that's why you sent a voice memo to this guy.
Yeah. And you know I got you, bro. Crank that fucking thing. All right, folks. And that's been yet another hilarious and incredible episode. Despite me turning off the computer in the middle on accident, we continue to dominate the podcasting space.
To the
Tom
moon.
Segura, to the moon, Bert Kreischer, Joe Rogan, all you motherfuckers could never in your entire lives discuss therapy or any of these things on a pod. Except you, Joe. I do kind of like you deep down, and I'm afraid to admit it. Ty, tell the people where they can find you. We'll put it all on the screen right here. Let these motherfuckers know what we got going on. Florida, hit us up. We're coming for you, baby.
Yeah,
Go.
May 17th to St. Pete, Florida. That's going to be incredible. We might be adding an Orlando date on the 16th, so look out for that. That'll all be on tylerhorvathcomedy.com. An immaculate website. Nobody's ever made a better website.
A beautiful website.
And by which I mean it's
so Donald Trump.
It's
A
pretty,
beautiful website.
Yeah,
No one's ever made a better
Yeah.
website.
No one's ever made a better website. And by which I mean if you do web design, hit me up. But no. TylerHorvathComedy.com. That's HORV as in Victor, ATH.com. Tyler J. Horvath on all social media. Go find me, watch all my clips, come to the live show. Got some new stuff. We're going to have a good time in Florida. More dates coming soon. I'll also be in Columbus.
One of the great cities in America.
May 9th through 11th. At Don't Tell. So come to one of those if there's tickets available to those. I love you, Tuck. I love you.
Love
Good
you,
catching
Ty.
up with you. Good giving advice to the people.
Young Squarespace template. We love to have him on the pod. I was sitting on that riff for about 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to get that. It
Yeah,
made
it
no
had to
sense
come
because
out.
you went too long there. All right, gang. We did it. Shout out to y'all for watching. We appreciate you. And hey, please continue calling and writing in, because if you don't, I'm going to have to start faking these. And God, how embarrassing would that be? But folks, I will fucking do it. Do not try me.
Right in, folks.
Right in.
I know you have more than one question.
Yeah, for the love of God. Anyways, gang, thank you to all the queers, they, them, straights, women, etc. We love to have you.